Hello students. So till previous class we did this equation of the wave y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. This is the general equation of the wave. Okay. In fact, any SHM is given by y is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. And if you want to convert this equation in the form of wave, then what you have to do, you have to replace this t by t minus x by v if the wave is traveling in the positive x direction, and it should be replaced by t plus x by v if the wave is traveling in the negative x direction. Okay, you can just remember that for the negative x the equation will be y is equal to a sine omega into t minus x by v plus phi, and for the positive x direction it should be y is equal to a sine omega t plus x by v plus phi. Okay, just we are replacing that t by t minus x by v and t plus x by v, and this is the direction of propagation for the negative x direction propagation and for the positive x direction propagation. Velocity of a particle is given by the differentiation of this equation. Suppose the equation we consider is y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. Okay, y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. So the velocity of the particle will be given by partial differentiation. What is the meaning of partial differentiation? Whenever you are doing the partial differentiation, you have to differentiate. Suppose here what we are doing, we are differentiating, there is a differentiation of y with respect to time. So in this case the term containing time will be variable and other terms will be constant, like the equation was y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. So if we are differentiating that omega t minus kx plus phi, and if you are differentiating that, what will happen? This term we are differentiating with respect to time, so this term t is variable and other terms are constant. Okay, so we have already discussed that whenever you are differentiating with respect to some variable, the coefficient of that thing will come here. Okay, the coefficient of time is omega, so omega has come here, and a is as it is, and the differentiation of sine will be cos. For any curve, the dy by dx gives the slope. Change in y divided by change in x gives the slope. Okay, so slope is equal to delta y by delta x, means partial differentiation of y with respect to x. So here the x is the variable, so which one is the constant? Omega t and phi will be constant. Omega t and phi will be constant. Now if you are differentiating with respect to x, the term coefficient of x, that is minus k, will come here. Okay, will come here, minus k has come here, and the differentiation of sine will become cos, and omega t minus kx plus phi will be as it is. If you divide these two, Vp by slope, we are getting Vp by slope. Okay, and a omega by minus ak, and thus cos and cos both will cancel out because same terms are there, isn't it? These two terms are same, so if you are dividing these two, they will cancel out. So what is remaining? A omega and minus ak. If both a are cancelling, what is remaining? Minus omega by k, and that is equal to minus v also. Okay, minus v. Now we can say Vp will be equal to minus v into slope. What is minus v? What is minus b? Omega by k. Omega is the angular velocity, k is the angular wave number. Okay, and if you are dividing these two, angular velocity divided by angular wave number, that is equal to v. Okay, v is the speed of the wave. There is a difference between the velocity of the particle and velocity of the wave. Okay, this vp is not the velocity of the wave. This vp is the velocity of the particle. That's why I have written velocity of the particle. Y the displacement of the particle from the mean position. Okay, you can remember that. So what are we getting? Vp is equal to minus v into slope. So v is the speed of the particle, velocity of the particle, not velocity of the wave, and slope, this is the slope of the curve you are getting. Okay, so what is the use of this thing? The use is, suppose a wave is like this. There is a wave and it is traveling in this way. Okay, now after some time the wave will become like this. Okay, and these are the positions. You can see 1, suppose this is the position 2, this is the position 3, this is the position 4, this is the wave 1, this is the wave 1, and this is the wave 2. So wave 1 has traveled some distance and after some time it has become wave 2. Okay, wave 1 has traveled some distance and it has become wave 2. Now they are asking what is the direction of the velocity of the particle. What is the direction of the velocity of the particle? Now suppose they are asking what is the direction of this particle 1, what is the direction of this particle 3, what is the direction of this particle 4. So you can just see that actually this particle is oscillating up and down. This particle is not moving. Remember that in wave the particle do not move. They move up and down, up and down, up and down like this. Okay, in transverse wave they move up and down, and longitudinal wave they move back and forth. Okay, so in this case this particle will come down after some time, isn't it? The wave is here, this particle is going to come down, this point is coming down, this point is going up, this point is coming down, this point is going up, isn't it? So from the introspection also you can just tell that which particle is going where. First particle is going up, third particle is coming down, fourth particle is going up, like that. But if you use this formula Vp is equal to minus v into slope, you don't have to draw this, you don't have to do the introspection, the analysis. Okay, you don't have to do the inspection, you can just tell the direction of the velocity by using this formula Vp is equal to minus v into slope. How can we do that? First of all, you have to remember that for this line the velocity the slope is positive. If the line is inclined toward the x-axis, the velocity slope is positive. This is negative slope, this is zero slope, and this is infinite slope. Okay, so for this line, for this point, if you want to find out the slope, you have to draw a line touching this one. Okay, so slope is positive because this is in this direction. For this line the slope the tangent will be like this. Okay, tangent will be like this, so that slope will be negative. Similar to that, for the fourth particle the slope will be negative. For the third particle the slope will be positive. For the fifth particle the slope will be negative. Now they are asking what is the direction of the point 1, in which direction this point is going. Okay, so how can we say okay, the wave is traveling in the positive x direction. So you have to put in this equation, you have to put the velocity. This is the direction of the velocity, value of the velocity of the wave. Okay, so you have to put with the sign. If the wave is traveling in the positive x direction, you have to take v as positive, and if the wave is traveling in the negative x direction, you have to take v as negative. So for this particle, you can just see the v is positive, slope is positive, and there is negative sign. So positive, positive and negative. What you are going to get? Vp will be negative. So Vp is negative. This means particle is going down. Okay. If you want to find out the velocity of the second particle, V2 will be positive. Why? This is negative and V is positive. So negative into negative, positive. Just like V4 will be negative, V3 will be positive, V4 will be positive, V3 will be negative. Okay, you can just do that. If the wave is traveling in the opposite direction, you can just, if the wave is traveling in the opposite direction, like this, in this direction, okay, then the V will be negative. V will be negative. So for the first particle, it will, you will be getting opposite sign. V1 will be positive if the wave is traveling in the opposite direction, because the V will be, this V will be negative. So negative into negative, and slope is positive. So negative into negative, positive. So Vp is positive, means V1 will be positive, V2 will be negative. So by using this method, you can tell the direction in which the particle is moving right now. Okay. So at a time, the direction means the shape of the, you can say, the position of different particles will be given, and they will be asking what is the direction of the velocity of the particle, phase difference and path difference. Okay, what is the phase difference? Phase difference, this term you can say omega t minus kx plus phi. This is whole thing is the phase. Okay, this determines the you can say displacement or velocity of the particle. So this whole term is phase. This is the angle, you can say. Okay, and this phase will be given in terms of pi, 2 pi, pi by 2, means angle. Okay, so how is this phase related with the displacement? Okay, suppose a wave has traveled how much distance? A wave has traveled some x distance, delta x distance. Okay, these are the 2 points separated by delta x, not the phase delta x. Okay, these are the 2 points, means you can say this is a graph between y and x. X is the position of different particles in the wave. Okay, and suppose these are the 2 points which is separated by delta x, but this curve will be given in terms of angle, isn't it? Suppose this is a curve y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Okay, in that case, this kx minus omega t is the phase. Okay, kx minus omega t is the phase, but the graph is given between y and x. So now for delta x, how much phase difference will occur? Okay, so you can just see this lambda distance is related with the how much angle? Means if this is the sine curve, this angle should be how much? This angle should be 2 pi. This angle should be 2 pi, isn't it? This is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi. If you are writing in terms of phase only. Okay, if you are writing in terms of phase, then this will be 0, this will be pi, this will be 2 pi. Now you can say 0 pi. But if you want to write in terms of x, how can you write? So we know that lambda distance is equivalent to 2 pi angle. Lambda distance is equivalent to 2 pi angle. Okay, the lambda distance means one wave, and 2 pi angle is also corresponding for the one wave cycle. So 1 unit distance will be related to 2 pi by lambda. So delta x distance will be related to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. If you want to convert lambda x delta x distance, then how much phase will occur, how much phase change will occur? This much, 2 pi by lambda into delta x. So delta phi you can say is equal to how much? 2 pi by lambda into delta x. 2 pi by lambda into delta x, and we know that 2 pi by lambda is equal to k, that is the angular wave number, generally written as wave number also. Okay, k delta x. In NCERT they have used angular wave number. Okay, they have used angular wave number, so you can remember that 2 pi by lambda is equal to k. Okay, and 1 by lambda for the wave number. So this is the phase difference. Phase difference delta phi is related with the path difference. This delta x is known as the path difference. Okay, because this is the difference between the 2 points. Delta x was the difference between the 2 points. Now suppose these two equations are given. Y1 is equal to 2 cm sine 20x minus 32 t. Y1 is equal to 2 cm sine 20x minus 32 t, and Y2 is equal to 2 cm sine 25x minus 40 t. Okay, they are asking what is the phase difference between the two waves at x is equal to 5 cm and t is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, t equal to 2 seconds. So what is the phase? This is the phase. Okay, this is the phase of the two waves. So they are asking what is the phase difference. So you can just subtract them. Delta phi, if you are subtracting these two, you are going to get 20x minus 32 minus 25x minus 40t. So if you are subtracting these two, you are going to get minus 5x plus 8t. If you put the value of x 5 cm and time 2, you are going to get 9 radian, minus 9 radian. Okay, so what is the phase difference between the two waves? Delta phi is equal to 9 radian. Okay, we have taken only the positive value, because you can subtract from the y2, means you can do the y2 minus y1, or you can do y1 minus y2. It doesn't matter. The phase of y1 minus phase of y2, or phase of y2 minus y1. Okay, they are just asking the magnitude. So this is the phase difference between the two waves, 9 radian. But the second question is, what is the value of x closest to the origin, means minimum value of x. Okay, the value of x closest to the origin for which the two waves differ by phase plus minus pi at t equal to 2 seconds. Out of phase. The two waves should be out of phase. Okay, so actually this plus minus pi is means the two waves are out of phase. So if you are saying pi, that means what is the phase difference? You can just see, if I am drawing a graph, the graph is repeated by how much time? You can just see. So this is 0, pi. In terms of phase, 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi. So the pi point, 3 pi point. Okay, see 2 pi is for the complete wave, pi is for the half wave. So if you consider this is the complete wave, then this will be another complete wave, isn't it? Pi. So pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, all are by 3 pi, 5 pi, all are same, isn't it? The two waves having pi angle difference, that means what? They can have pi angle difference, or 3 pi, 5 pi, means odd multiple of pi. Odd multiple of pi. Okay. And they are, I have written also out of phase. If the two waves are having 2 pi phase difference or 0 phase difference, then we will say they are in phase. Okay, they are in phase. Like, what is the meaning of that? See, there is another wave. Okay, so these two waves are having similar in shape, isn't it? If you see, this one is maximum, this one is minimum, this one is maximum, this one is minimum. Okay, so if the two waves are similar in shape, that means they are in phase. Okay, and if they are having opposite shape, that means, suppose this is the one of the wave and there is another wave like this. Okay, so you can just see this one is just opposite of that, but you can see one more thing. This wave is, this part of the wave is similar to this one. This part of the wave is similar to this. So after, this is the 0, this is the pi, so you can just see after pi angle these two waves are similar. These two waves become similar after pi angle. So we can say these two waves have how much difference in angle? How much difference in angle? Pi difference. And they are out of phase. What is the meaning of out of phase? They are just opposite of each other, isn't it? This is up the mean line, and this is the down. This is down the mean line. So they are just opposite of each other. This means they are having how much angle difference? Pi. If they are having pi or in multiples of, odd multiples of pi, like pi, 3 pi, 5 pi phase difference, they are out of phase. If they are having 0, 2 pi, 6 pi phase difference, this means even multiple of, means multiples of 2 pi, you can say. If they are having multiples of 2 pi phase difference, that means they are having they will be in phase. Okay, and for the pi phase difference, they are out of phase. So in this question they are asking what is the minimum value of x for which the two waves, what is the minimum value of x for which the two waves are out of phase. Out of phase means the phase difference can be anything in odd multiples of pi, like pi, 3 pi, 5 pi. Okay, anything, it can happen, anything. So you can just see del phi should be equal to, the difference was minus 5x plus 8t, isn't it? So the two waves, they are asking the two waves should be having pi or multiples of pi phase difference. So minus 5x plus 8t, minus 5x plus, and time is given at t equal to 2 seconds. So if you put t equal to 2 seconds, you are getting minus 5x plus 16. And I have written here pi plus 2n pi. This is also odd multiple of pi, you can say. Okay, if you are adding from 2 pi, if you are adding pi, that will be 3 pi. If you are adding, if you are putting the value of n is equal to 2, that is 4 pi plus pi, that is 5 pi. Or you can just directly say 2n plus 1 pi. Okay, so you can just, 2n plus 1 is an odd number. 2n plus 1 indicates an odd number. You can put any value, you are going to get an odd number. So you can just directly write 2n pi plus pi or 2n plus 1 into pi. So odd multiples of pi indicate the out of phase wave. Now if you are solving this minus 5x will come to this side. So we are getting what? 16 minus pi minus 2n pi. Okay, and if you are dividing this whole thing, but you can see actually you could have written that thing directly, 2n plus 1 pi. From that you can understand that if this is a 16 minus 2n plus 1 pi, upon 5, isn't it? X is this value. If you put in place of delta phi odd multiples of pi, that is 2n plus 1 pi, that is the same thing. Pi plus 2n pi, it's same thing as 2n plus 1 pi. So this is an odd number. So if you are putting an odd number, for what value of x this value is minimum? For what value of x the difference is minimum? So you can just put here 1. So if you are putting 1, you are getting 3 pi. So 3 and pi value is how much? 3 into 3.14, almost 9.42. Okay, so 9.42, there is a huge difference, 16 minus 9.42. But they are asking what is the minimum value of x. So if you are putting n is equal to 2, this means 5 pi, isn't it? 5 pi, 16 minus 5 pi, that should be the closest value, because 16 minus 5 into 3.14. So 3.14 is how 5 into 3.14 is equal to how much? 5 3 is 15, 15 and 14 5 is 70. So 15.70. That is the closest to 16. So the difference will be minimum. Otherwise you can put any greater value also. Like if you are putting 3, then you are getting 3 into 2, 6, 7 pi. So 7 pi, that is almost 21, greater than 21. Okay, so 16 minus 21 will be a very large value. But they are asking what is the minimum value. So that will be when 16 minus 5 means this 2n plus 1 pi becomes 5 pi. For n is equal to 2, you are going to get that 5 pi. So if you put the value of pi, that is 3.14, you are getting this 0.0584 centimeter. 0.0584 centimeter. Okay. This is given the equation of a wave on a string. Y is equal to 0.03 sine 3x minus 2t. Okay, this is the equation of the wave given. That they are asking at t equal to 0, what are the values of, at t equal to 0, what are the values of displacement at x is equal to 0, 0.1 meter, 0.2 meter, 0.3 meter. So you don't have to do anything, just put the value. They are asking at t equal to 0, so just put the value t equal to 0 here. You are going to get, if you are putting t equal to 0, you are going to get 0.03 sine 3x. 0.03 sine 3x. And at x is equal to 0, if you are putting at x is equal to 0, here put 0, you are getting sine 0. So sine 0 is also 0. So 0.03 into sine 0, that is 0. So y is equal to 0, that is your answer. At x is equal to 0.2, you can just put here 0.2. So 0.03 sine 3 into 0.2, that is 0.6. You can find out the value by yourself, 0.03 sine 0.6. Okay, this is in radian. So you can find out by using the log table or the calculator. Just find out that by yourself. Similarly, you can find out for the x is equal to 0.3. You can just replace that x by 0.3. You are going to get sine 0.9. Okay, for x is equal to 0.1, you are okay. The second part, the question B, at x is equal to, they are asking at x is equal to 0.1, what is the value of displacement at t equal to 0? 0.1 second, 0.2 second. Okay, so at t equal to 0.1, this is the equation, isn't it? Y is equal to 0.303 sine 0.3. X is replaced by 0.1. The equation was y equal to 0.03 sine 3x minus 2t. So if you replace this x, by if you replace this x by 0.1 meter, you are going to get 0.03 sine 0.3 minus 2t. Okay, and at t equal to 0, y will become, you can just substitute that 0.03 sine 0.3. At t equal to 0.1, y is equal to 0.03 sine 0.1. Okay, just put here t equal to 0.1. So 0.3 minus 0.2, that is 0.1. At t equal to 0.2, you can just substitute 0.2. You will be getting y is equal to 0.03 sine minus 0.1. Okay, so all of these values you can find out by using the log table. Sine minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. So you are going to get minus 0.03 sine 0.1. Okay, so you can find out the value of displacement at x is equal t is equal to 0.2 and x is equal to 0.1 by using this equation. Now the velocity of the particle, how can you find out the velocity of the particle? By just differentiating y with respect to time. Differentiate y with respect to time. Okay, so the equation is actually y is equal to 0.03 sine 3x minus 2t. If you are differentiating this with respect to time, this minus 2 will come forward. And sine will convert into cos. So the coefficient of t was 2. That's why it has come here minus 2 cos 3x minus 2t. And we are getting minus 0.06 cos 3x minus 2t. Okay, and the maximum velocity, this value will be the maximum value of the velocity of the particle. This value will be the maximum value of the velocity of the particle. All the particles are moving up and down, isn't it? They are moving up and down, up and down, up and down. So the maximum possible velocity will be this 0.06. Okay, so this is the velocity of the particle. Remember, not the velocity of the wave. Velocity of the wave is different. Velocity of the particle is different. Maximum velocity will be how much? 0.06 meter per second. Now the wave velocity. The wave velocity is omega by k. And if you see the equation, y is equal to 0.03 sine 3x minus 2t, that is in the form of a sine kx minus omega t. The coefficient of x is k and the coefficient of t is omega. So omega is equal to 2 and k is equal to 3. Omega is equal to 2, k is equal to 3. So wave velocity will be omega by k, that is 2 by 3 meter per second. So wave velocity is different from the particle's velocity. The wave velocity is constant, particle's velocity is variable. Okay, for different particles it will be different, and for at different time. Now suppose they are asking what is the wave velocity, the expression for the wave velocity. Okay, how the wave velocity is, what is the expression for the wave velocity? We know that the wave velocity can be given by v is equal to omega by k. But how is it related with the tension? Is it dependent on the tension on the wire or the mass per unit length of the wire? Actually, it is dependent on both the mass per unit length of the wire and tension on the wire. Okay, the mass per unit length on the wire and tension on the wire. So if mass per unit length is equal to mu, tension in the wire is T, and they are asking what is the wave velocity. Okay, so you can just see, suppose at any time the wave is in this form, at a time the wave is in this form, and the wave is traveling with speed v. Okay, the wave is traveling in this with this speed v. This is the shape of the string at a time, and the wave is traveling with speed v. Now suppose there is an observer, which is, there is a person who is also moving with speed v. This person is also moving with speed. Now what this person will see? Just like when you are moving on a train, you see the objects moving in the backward direction. If another train is moving with the same speed, if another train is moving with the same speed as you are moving, in that case the train will seem to be at rest. Okay, the train will seem to be at rest, means the other train will be seem to be at rest. So just like that, what will happen for this person, the shape of this shape of the wave will not change. Shape of the wave will not change. Okay, why the shape of the wave will not change? Because the shape is moving. What is moving? The shape is moving. This shape will come here. After some time, what will happen? This point will come here. So the shape is moving, and this person is also moving. The wave is moving means what? Shape is moving. Some shape is moving. So if the person is moving with the same speed as the wave is moving, in that case the shape will seem to be at constant. So, but in case of wave, the particles do not move, isn't it? The particles do not move. The particle remain at rest. That means they do not move along the direction of the wave. They move up and down. They move up and down. The wave, shape of the wave moves. Shape of the string moves. The particle do not move in the direction of the wave. Okay. So now what will happen? These particles are not moving, but this person is moving. So what he will see? He will see that these particles are moving in the backward direction. These particles are moving in the backward direction. Okay, these particles are moving in the backward direction because this person is moving with speed, some speed. So he will see that whatever is at rest is moving with some speed, with the same speed. These particles are moving with the same speed v in the backward direction. So this, he will see that these particles are moving in the backward direction, but the shape of the wave is not changing. Okay, shape of the string is not changing. So if we take a part of the string, and for that part, if the radius is, if we take a small portion of the string, and if that portion is making angle theta at the center, then, and this is the radius. Okay, this is approximately a circle, part of a circle. So we have made a circle, part of the circle, and if theta is in radian, this is r, then this will be r into theta. This length will be how much? R into theta. And the string is moving, the particles are moving in the backward direction. From this reference frame, as the person is seeing, these particles are moving in the backward direction. So this means what? all these particles are moving in the backward direction. That is the case of the circular motion. Okay, that is the case of the circular motion. Now the string is pulled. This part of the string should be pulled in this direction by tension T. This part will be pulled by tension T. Okay, so these are the two forces. If you want to find out the resultant force, if we see the part of the string, the angle at the center is theta, this del theta, tension T, this length is r del theta, del theta or theta, whatever you want to assume, you can assume that. Okay, so this will be del theta by 2. Why? Because if you draw a line here, this angle will be, half of the angle will be del theta by 2, and these two lines are parallel, so alternate angles are equal. So this is del theta by 2, this is also del theta by 2, this is also del theta by 2. Now if you want to find out the this component toward the center, okay, that will be T sine theta by 2, T sine del theta by 2. Okay, that I have written here, T sine del theta by 2 or theta by 2, T cos del theta by 2. These horizontal components will cancel out. And the vertical components, T sine del theta by 2, T sine del theta by 2, they will add up, and the total force will be 2 sine del T del theta by 2. That is the centripetal force, because the whole thing is moving in a circle. This radius is r, and this force should be equal to the mass into mv square by r. mv square by r. Okay, we know that the mass is the mass of this whole length. And we have assumed that the mass per unit length is mu. What is the length of this part? R del theta. So if you multiply by mu, you are going to get the mass of this thing. For a small angle, sine del theta by 2 will be equal to del theta. Okay, sine theta is approximately equal to theta for a small angle. So sine del theta by 2 will be equal to approximately equal to del theta by 2. Okay, so 2t del theta by 2 is equal to m is equal to what? M is equal to mu into r del theta into v square by r. Okay, so these two will cancel out, del theta will cancel out. What are we getting? R will cancel out. Okay, so what are we getting? T by mu. V square is equal to T by mu. Okay, so V is equal to T by. The speed of the wave will be given by tension on the string upon mass per unit length of the string. Tension on the string upon mass per unit length of the string. Okay, you can just remember this formula, tension on the string upon mass per unit length of the string, because this is the velocity with which the particles were moving in the backward direction with this reference frame, the person's reference frame who was moving with speed v. So we calculated these particles should be moving with v speed, but these particles are not moving, actually the wave is moving, so the wave speed is root under T by mu. Okay, so we can do one question. Suppose this is a fixed end, okay, and the wave pulse is moving on the string. and here the 10 kg mass is there. Okay, so this one is fixed and the string is attached here. Now they are asking what is the mass per unit length. Mu is given, mass per unit length is given, suppose 5 gram per meter. What is the wave speed? What is the wave speed? Okay, so what can we say? What is the speed with which this pulse is moving? What is the speed with which this pulse is moving? That is the question. Okay, so we know that V is equal to T by mu. Okay, we know that the V is equal to T by mu. Tension is how much? 10 kg, that means how much? 100 Newton. M into G. Okay, so 100 Newton divided by mu, 5 gram per meter. If you want to convert that into a kilogram, that will be 5 by 1000. That is how much 1000 will go up. These two will divide 100 into 1000 divided by 5. These two will cancel out. 20 into 1000. 20 into 1000 and 1000 into 10. This can also be written as 100 into 100, and 100 will come out of the root. 100 root 2, 100 into 1.41, that is 141 meter per second. Okay, this is the speed with which the wave will be traveling. So wave speed on the string is dependent on only on the tension and the mass per unit length, only on these two parts. Okay, whenever they are asking what is the wave speed does not depend on the does not depend upon the frequency of the wave, does not depend on the angular frequency of the wave, does not depend on the length lambda of the wave. Okay, it depends only on the tension on the string. If the string is very loose, the wave will not travel. Okay, if the string is not fixed, one end of the string is not fixed, both the ends are loose, in that case both the ends are free, then the wave will not be traveling. You can just see that. Okay, so the string should be a little bit tight. Tight means there should be some tension, then only the wave will be traveling. Okay, the wave speed will be this much. So this much we are going to do today. Okay.